This was on my local news channel yesterday, and this is one of those times where you just want to go around judo chopping everybody. You know, I keep telling my wife, because there's something really crazy that's going to happen with me here soon, and I keep telling, I don't know what it is, I just know it's going to happen. I've had some really crazy things happen to me recently, so I keep telling her, like, it's going to happen. I'm, like, really close to being able to go around judo chopping everybody. And this is one of those times where it just about got let out. But not yet, all in due time. So this was yesterday, just take a listen.
ANHEUSER-Busch.
Oh, and then whenever I tell her I'm going to go around judo chopping everybody, she knows I don't mean like literally, it's all metaphorically, but it's going to happen. And then she kind of laughs and calls me a dum-dum, because it's true.
ANHEUSER-Busch wants you to relive the 1930s.
It's introducing a new beer called Budweiser 1933 Repeal Reserve. Adolphus Busch created this amber lager in the pre-Prohibition days for his friends, and the recipe has not been brewed by AB since Prohibition ended. It was originally only sold in St. Louis, but will hit store shelves nationwide this week. Might want to try it.
Yeah, I'm going to try it. Why would anyone want to relive the 30s? You know why? Because it wasn't a good time for anybody. Cheese and rice. Let's talk about what happened in the 30s. Well, that's when World War II started, was 1939. So let's see what else happened in the 30s. Oh, I don't know, Hitler's rise to power. And you know, there are people out there, I can't believe this bullshit. It's been going on for a long time, where people go on there on YouTube, all these videos, Hitler was really a good guy and he was doing good things and blah blah blah. You're just, you know, you haven't learned the real story of that guy, blah. That guy was put into power by an occult society named the Tool Society, another black magic, child sacrificing, piss drinking, shit eating cult. Just like the rest of them, put him into power. The guy wore the black cube on his face. He was a Muslim. He worked with the Muslims hand in hand. He allied with them. He had one of their big imams in Berlin every night pronouncing jihad on the whole world. The guy was not a good guy, so now working hand in hand with the Muslims is a good idea, huh? All based off their prophet Muhammad, which he was a pedophile that tore women apart literally. When you watch a movie and they show those old movies, and sometimes sometimes they do it in the new ones, where they have someone tied from one end to the other and then they're pulled apart. Muhammad did that first. That was him. He did that to a woman because he just thought she was running some other gang that was starting to be pretty powerful and starting to do pretty well for itself, and he didn't like it, so he went and destroyed them and had her pulled apart. So that's a good guy. Anyway, so his rise to power happened in the 30s, and then my ultimate favorite time was the Great Depression. That's when the Great Depression was. So why would we want to relive that? And then also an interesting thing that happened in the 30s was the bonus army of 1932. That should have been the end. I mean, it really should have been a long time ago. But I mean, if we're going to be honest here, one of the things that should have ended the United States government was the bonus army of 1932. And in fact, that's when the armies fought each other. The United States Army was fighting the United States Army. Don't know much about the 1932 bonus army? Let me tell you real quick about it. It was when the World War I veterans didn't get the money they were promised because they were promised by a bunch of liars and scam artists. Sound familiar? Like pensions and entitlement programs. You had World War I veterans that were passed this bonus check they were supposed to get in like 20 years in 1925. So they said, which is stupid anyway. But the government told the bonus army veterans, they said, the World War I veterans, they said, yeah, in 20 years we're going to pay you this money. Well, then guess what happened 4 years, this was in 1925 when they passed the law, saying in 20 years we'll pay you. Well, then guess what happened 4 years later? The great stock market crash of 1929, which then brought on the Great Depression. So these World War I veterans got pissed and said, man, the market's crashed, everybody's starving, we need our money now. And the government said, nah, not going to happen. And then the freaking army said, well, then we're going to march, we're going to protest, we're going to get that money. And then the government, Herbert Hoover and Douglas MacArthur and Patton and Eisenhower, sent the cussing military in, and the military was fighting the military because these guys were pissed that their families were starving. They went and fought a world war based on nothing but bullshit, and then weren't even given the money they were promised. That all happened in the 30s. So why you would say something like this is ridiculous. And it goes to show how no one knows anything. Either way of saying shit like, "Ooh, we want you to relive the 30s." Boo! That was the Great Depression, which is funny because, you know, I've been talking about this Jack Ryan movie lately because I kind of feel like it's been right on point, because I said there was going to be, before the crash of the United States government, or excuse me, the United States economy, there was going to be a hurricane in the Gulf and then a coordinated terrorist attack on U.S. soil. Well, you had the hurricane in the Gulf, and then you had a coordinated attack, did you not? Worst mass shooting just a few weeks later. And they said after that, all that was going to happen, then this would happen. And they described what the collapse of the United States economy would look like. So take a listen.
The panic of 1837, the panic of 1893, the Soviet famine of 1932.
Hyperinflation.
Bread lines. Rioting.
I know, I get it.
And at first, they'll call it the American crisis, but within about 6 weeks, they're going to start calling it what it is. The Second Great Depression.
There you go. And they want you to relive that all over again. All right, go buy a beer, everybody. ANHEUSER. All right. Thanks to my subscribers.